Dear WAEC candidate, here is how to answer WAEC questions. Whenever they say, using chemical equation, describe the industrial manufacture of ethanol through fermentation, for instance, you don't need to write any statement. What you need to do is to represent the industrial manufacture of ethanol using chemical equation only. So when such a question comes, you remember that ethanol produced through fermentation is produced from starchy foods. Starch is actually thousands of glucose molecules linked together with elimination of water. So you just write glucose molecule minus water. Glucose is C6H12O6. So from that 12 you remove 2 because water is H2O. Instead of writing 12, you write 10. And O6, instead of writing 6, you write 5 because one O is gone. Then you show that it is a polymer by putting a bracket and writing N outside. N stands for thousands of these units, meaning that this is a polysaccharide. What happens in the industry is that they are going to add what is called malt to the starch. And malt contains an enzyme known as diastase. So you write your arrow down and write plus malt. So what this diastase is going to do is to convert starch to maltose, which is a disaccharide. Being a disaccharide, it means 2 of these monomeric units. So because water is added, you represent it like this. And then you double this thing. C12, H20 plus these 2, that is H22, O10 plus 1, that is O11. This is maltose. After production of maltose, yeast is added. You represent addition of yeast like this. And remember, yeast contains 2 enzymes. One of them converts this maltose to glucose, and the second one converts the glucose to ethanol. So the one that converts maltose to glucose is maltase. As a disaccharide, the maltose is going to be broken into 2 with addition of water. You add water again like this. Remember, this N must appear here because thousands of these molecules will also be produced. So now when you add water and divide this into 2, we are going to have C6, that is half of 12. Now when you add 2 to 22, you get 24. Half of 24 is 12. 11 plus 1, 12. Half of 12 is 6. The next is the activity of the second enzyme known as Z-mase. So Z-mase acts. What Z-mase does is to break down this glucose into ethanol and carbon dioxide, which will be eliminated. So you draw an arrow outward showing elimination of carbon dioxide from here. And the remaining is C2H5OH. Remember, this is also N. And this is the industrial production of ethanol through fermentation of starch.